when it comes to Dominican Republic, most people probably think about Punta Cana, Cap Cana, maybe Cabarete, Sosúa. But those are not the places that I have found out to be the most attractive when it comes to Dominican Republic. And so I have spent 2 years in Dominican Republic. I have arrived from Miami, where I was teaching kite surfing. My visa in US were expiring, so I had to move. And Dominican Republic was the closest place to go and the most interesting to me when it comes to the beaches, the nature. So I took the flight, I landed in Santiago de Caballeros, and then from there I rented a car. I decided to drive around the island and really understand where I am and see as much as I can. When I arrived, I booked the car without the insurance, and the guys were looking at me like I'm crazy. I didn't understand why those looks, since that was kind of a normal approach for me. And I learned quickly what that was about when I made the whole circle and I came back to return the car. I didn't realize how wild and how raw Dominican Republic is when it comes to life. Basically, it's coming from Miami. It was a cultural shock for me. I was looking at perfection in Miami, where everything is developed, everything is perfect, to basically a land that is just purely functional. Whatever works. So I'll give you an example. I rented a car that was a small car, but a brand new thing. I don't know what they gave me exactly. But driving through Santo Domingo, where you have cars where there's 4 to 5 people sitting in the back. There are no windows. The cars are smashed from all the angles. They don't have lights. It's just purely functional part of the car that you can move from place to place. And the way things function is, if you have a nice car, you're not gonna get to the front, because there's gonna be someone who doesn't care about scratches, who doesn't care about hitting you. So me going without the insurance around the whole island and then ended up in Santo Domingo in those traffic jams, it was very eye-opening. But lucky enough for me, I returned the car with no scratches, no damage. And then I head over to Cabarete, because my idea was to teach kite surfing. When I arrived to Cabarete, I spoke with a couple of schools. We started the work, but I didn't really like the connection, so I let that go. And also, the beauty of kite surfing is basically that you have all the freedom and you're at the sea by yourself and just riding with a couple of people. But in Cabarete, that's like a traffic jam. It's like being on that crossing in Japan, but now everybody has a kite. So for me, it was too much overcrowded. The enjoyment of the whole freedom of the sport was just gone. I lived in front of Encuentro Beach, which is a surf beach. And I always wanted to learn how to surf. I got, I think, 2 or 3 trials with my friend in Bali when I was there. So I was like, okay, let's get a board and let's continue learning. So that's what I did. That's another beauty of Dominican Republic, especially in that area. You have beautiful waves. You can surf. You can kite surf. So for people who love adventure sports, this is amazing. Another big piece of Dominican Republic that I really love is that you have the beaches, but you also have the mountains. It's a lush green nature, and it's just such a beautiful land. So being in the area, Sosúa and Cabarete, how would I define each of those? To me, Sosúa, I didn't really like the vibe, the energy of it. It's very much old guys and young Dominican girls. That's what's all about. You connect the dots. And for Cabarete, it was a little bit too much partying and overcrowded. It's just like it was quite a lot of mess in that, and it wasn't that developed at the time. I don't know how it's now, but that was my experience. Then I went to Punta Cana just to understand what Punta Cana is about, because it was a name that was thrown around quite a lot. So I went there. I spent a month in Punta Cana. I didn't find the community very balanced. I would say it was quite a lot of disparities, and that's the whole Dominican Republic, between those people who have money, who doesn't. Very often the people who have money live behind the walls in mansions and protected, while the wildlife of the Dominicans is just little wooden cottages made of whatever and just living a basic life. So the disparity between poor and rich is kind of noticeable, which then leads to quite a lot of little crimes and situations. So in general, I would say probably the place that I felt that the crime and delinquencies are happening really around you. I would say that in Dominican Republic was the place. I heard quite a lot about Brazil in the same way, but I haven't been in Brazil, so I cannot compare. But for Dominican Republic, I have seen quite a lot of things happen in my environment that indicate that you have to be a little bit more cautious about how you dress, how you present yourself in situations. And mind you, at that time I was already learning and speaking Spanish, so that was a big help for me. So for those who don't, they might have even a deeper disadvantage in that. So Punta Cana, beautiful beaches. Cap Cana is a very nice space where people who have money usually stay. But then Punta Cana by itself and Bávaro, I would say, are more about a couple bigger hotels and not that much of a community. So I found that place to be the main benefits, probably the hotels and the beaches. And for living, I think it was mainly a tourist destination where people come in and leave again. For living, Cap Cana, I think people were buying and looking into places that they would feel they fit. So after that, I felt like I'm done with Dominican Republic. I was about to go to Costa Rica. But at the last moment, when I was just driving around the island again, I saw a thing about Las Terrenas. So I went there and I booked, I think, a week in Las Terrenas. And what a beautiful place. I would say from Dominican Republic, Las Terrenas is one of my favorite spots and very unique places. Pristine beaches, very calm, kite surfing as well as surfing still. And but such a more serene, laid back area where even locals, where they want to go somewhere, they travel from Santo Domingo and they spend their weekends, Semana Santa and weekends in Las Terrenas because they appreciate the beauty that it has. It's sitting, there are such beautiful views from the mountains when you're going through the roads. It's just such a beautiful landscape and such a beautiful area. So I definitely recommend that place. I rented a beautiful condominium there, 3-bedroom, and that's where basically my journey with photography started. Definitely recommend Las Terrenas. And a second thing, which I think is such a beautiful place in Dominican Republic, and most people don't know about it or don't speak about it, is Jarabacoa, which is it's like a campo. So basically you go into the forest, the environment, the landscape, the nature completely changes. You have pine trees, you have, there's a lot of agriculture, hills, and it's such a rich, green, beautiful countryside with the waterfalls, the rivers. It's just a complete switch of what you can get in Punta Cana and other places near the coast. So definitely La Vega, Jarabacoa, those places have really stood out for me. I know quite a lot of people also speak about Bahia. I haven't been myself, but I think there might be also a place worth to visit. So in summary, my 2 years in Dominican Republic, I would say it's one of the most raw countries to be in. It's like a really roots, think about basic stuff. I think it's developing quite fast from what I have seen, but still it's it's an island first, so the supplies are somehow limited when it comes to things that you might need. So that's one disadvantage, but also the life is very raw. Forget about some sort of a deeper spirituality. I'm speaking mainly about the locals and the way the local life is shaped. It's just around the land, it's around the agriculture, it's around some services, basic foods and stuff. But I have so much love for Dominican Republic. I think it's such a beautiful place that especially Las Terrenas, definitely recommend visiting La Vega and Jarabacoa. The nature is just something out of this world. I'm Jacob. I've spent over a decade living in cross countries and cultures asking one simple question: is there a better place to live? 10 of 10 real estate was built for people who just don't want to buy a property. They're looking for a place that supports who they are becoming.